Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we'll be solving a very noted and very famous problem, valid anagram. So by famous, I don't mean ki this problem is, asked a lot of times or whatever. But by famous, I mean ki these problems are practically very important to, get a knowledge of a particular topic. So this valid anagram problem can help you learn more about strings, sorting in strings, hash map, and arrays. Right. So without wasting any time, let's deep dive into the question. So I'll start with reading the problem statement. So valid anagram. Given two strings S and T, return true if T is an anagram of S and false otherwise. An anagram is a word or phrase formed by rearranging the letters of a different word or phrase, typically using all the original letters exactly once. Okay, so first of all, I can remove this one now. Yeah, actually, I'm writing this so I don't miss on anything. So first, I explain the importance of this problem. Then I'll move with the solution and explanation and everything. Right. So what is anagram? So if I have a word ABC, so and there is also word CAB. So word 2, this one CAB, is anagram of word 1 only if all the characters with their exact frequency in the word 1 are present in the word 2. They can be jumbled, but it should be exact same words with exact same frequencies. Right? If it is APC and this is DAB, then these two words are not an anagram. Fine. So I'll remove this one as well. So yeah, this is a little bit explanation about anagram and like uh, how to check if the two words are anagram or not. Right now, moving towards the solution for this one, there are two solutions. Right now, from now on, I will be moving along how I will explain the same problem in an interview. Right, if an interviewer asks me this question, how I'm going to explain this. So for the first solution. Uh, this is a very basic solution. So what I'll do is ki I'll sort both of the words and compare them and return the value. So if the two words are equal, then it will return true. If the two words are not equal, then it will return false. Before that, I would also like to clear some questions regarding the same problem. Uh, just telling you, I haven't gone through the constraints or anything. I'm taking it as a real life interview example where you don't get any constraints. You have to ask for it. So few of the constraints that I'll go and ask the interviews are first of all, is the string completely built out of lowercase letters, or there are uppercase letters as well, or just uppercase letters? First question, this one. Second will be, uh, do am I working only with the words or sentences as well? So like my yes, it is said keep both of the S and T are words, but it's good to clarify this thing as well from an interviewer. So yeah, right. Are these only just words or strings as well? Or like, sorry, sentences as well? The third question that I will ask is, am I dealing with the like empty strings as well, or like like one word will be greater than the length of one word will be the greater than the length of the second word by any means, right? After that, the last question that I will ask is how many characters will there be in a word or a sentence, like whatever it is provided, how many characters am I dealing with? Because sometimes, so the basic test cases in the lead code, it will only give you at most, like not at least, it will give you, I think, 3 to 4 words, and at most it will give you 100. And I'm speaking very frankly, it never goes to 100. It's mostly till I think 10 or 20 max, right? So it's good to know what constraint, like what is the length that you are going to deal with. because you will give the solution, but sometimes that solution will not work for the the long length words, because it will take a lot of time, and sometimes there is not that much computation power given to you. So if you give like work with the code, like write code in interview bit, there is a time complexity section as well, and if your code is taking more time than that, it will fail. So that's why time complexity is also very very important. So now moving on to the solution, the first thing that I will do is I will sort both of the words as I stated earlier, and then compare them. So how it will go is I will have a new word. This is not working. Yeah, sorted of S, and the new word T will be sorted of T, and then I will just return new of S equals to new of T. Yeah, yeah, it is passing, but you have to note that the time complexity taken by this particular solution is n log n, because sorting in the Python or in any language it takes n log n of time, right? So if the word limit is just imagine 10 to the power 5, so it will take 10 to the power 5, 5 into 10 to the power 5 time to solve this entire solution, solve this entire problem. So you need to make sure that you are always aiming for optimizing your problem. So by with the second solution that I'm going to give you, I'll be optimizing the time complexity by big of n, and the space complexity will be big of n as well. So for doing that, I'll be using hash maps. So if you don't haven't if you haven't seen my previous videos, so I'll explain the hash map over here again, but I will not give the detailed explanation. So in HashMap, we will be storing key value pairs. So it is a data structure that is very useful in storing the key value pairs. So what is the trick here? The key is only supposed to be unique. So let's suppose you have one and its value is let's suppose 10 inside the hash map. But now you want to add another key whose which value is 1 and whose corresponding value is 20. So when you will trying to add that in our hash map, which already has a key with the value 1, then that key 1, its value will get updated to 20 instead of 10. So you always need to keep that in mind whenever you are using hash maps. The keys should always be unique. Okay, so let's move on to the solution. So I'll create my hash map as I suggested. So what I'll do is I'll iterate over my first word for I in S, and then I will check if that particular word is in my hash map. If it is in my hash map, I will increment its frequency by 1, else I will enter this particular character in my hash map and give it as frequency 1, because it has only been in my hash map for the one time. So yeah, hash map of I equals to 1. Now, moving on, what I'll do is I will iterate over my second word, and if I find that word in my hash map, I will just decrement its value by 1. And if it is not there, I will just return false. Right? So, there's a catch in this particular statement as well, in this one. So, I'll explain it right now. If just imagine if my S is double A and my T is triple A. Then if you see for I in T, if oh yeah, with the first iteration in S, my hash map will become HM of A, caps lock is okay, sorry, A, and its value will become 2, right? And now when I will iterate over T, so T has A inside of it. So if I go A in HM, then it will decrement its value by 1 first. Then again, it will decrement my value by 1 0, and then again it will decrement by -1. So you can see the minus comes over here only when the frequency of that element goes to 0. So we don't need that because the test cases can be tricky, and this is definitely one of the test cases that you will find, right? So to overcome this and to avoid failing of this entire solution, what I'll do is when I'm checking my word is in my hash map, I will also add one statement कि the frequency of that character in my hash map should be always greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, then yeah, obviously the value will be decremented by 1, but it is already 0 or less than 0, or the element is not in my hash map, then it will directly go in my else statement and return false, right? After all of this thing has happened, I will know कि my hash map has been completely emptied out. By emptied out, I mean the frequency of all the elements are 0. So I'll just return true for this one, right? Now, if I run this problem statement, yeah, it passes with runtime of 15 milliseconds. This is for just for the test cases, like basic ones. Now, when I submit it, it will run through all the test cases in the lead code for this particular statement, and I got an error. Okay, for I int if I in hm and hm of I is greater than 0, then oh, right. I missed one of the statements. See, the question that I asked before, if the length of strings are equal or not, like if the length of words are equal or not, and this is the same scenario over here. So what I need to do to overcome this is, if length of my string s is greater than, oh, I can only go, is not equal to length of t, then I need to return false. Correct? Yeah. So also let's go through the constraints one. So yeah, the length should be greater than one always. So we don't need to give the check of empty string. And there is also S and T consist of lowercase English letters. So yeah, we don't need to worry about the uppercase as well. By the way, just for the general knowledge, whenever you are sorting a string, the string will be sorted according to the ASCII characters, like ASCII number of that particular character. So for uppercase A to Z, the numbers are 65 to 90 in the ASCII, and for small a to z, it's 97 to 122. So whenever you are sorting a particular string, so for that one, the small letters will always be after the capital letters, because of the ASCII number ranges are greater for lowercase letters and smaller for the uppercase letters. Yeah, and one more thing that I should tell you is, whenever you are sorting a string in the Python, then it will be like not sorted as a form of string, but it will be sorted as a list. So I'll show you again like one time. So new of s equals to sorted of s, and if I print new of s and run it, you will see the new s will be the list of characters in a sorted form. Okay. So yeah. Okay, cool. So this is my entire solution, and now if I run it, it will pass the basic test cases, obviously. And for the all the test cases, let's see. Yeah, the runtime is 31 millisecond, and it beats 69.38, which is, I think, good, very good. And the memory is 11.9, so 12 MB, and it's beat 88.85. So the total complexity of this entire solution is big O of n, and the space complexity is also big O of n. Yeah, so that's it. So few of the pointers from my end is key. Whenever, like I say, I ask the most particular questions from the interviewer, right? So I'll advise ki you need to write them down, right? And then whenever you are writing your code, build your code in the way that you are trying to cover all the questions that you ask from the interviewer, so that there's no issue like this one came for me where the length of s was not equal to length of t. So yeah, I hope you like this video, and please like, share, and subscribe if you like my videos, and also if there are any suggestions that you need to give me, so I'm always welcome to those. Thanks. Bye. Good night.